Yo, still Bill, what's the deal, man? We back, man. It's top of the week, man. It's already early November. This shit is ridiculous. Last week was an eventful week. My daughter, my baby girl, is officially 18 years old. The diva had a birthday party at my mom and dad's house. Fucking just ridiculous. All her friends is over there. I'm exhausted. And she sings in like the choir and everything. So when I'm downstairs trying to get my chill on, here all her friends come wanting to practice. They chorus, you know what I'm saying, the songs that they're gonna be singing in the next concert. I'm like, God damn it. But, you know, anything for my daughter, man. Love that little girl. Even if she gets on my damn nerves, I'll kill somebody behind her ass. But Pete Gang, man, I want to talk about something, man. That was Saturday. You know what else was on Saturday? Joshua fucking Buatsi, dude. Man, listen. Come on, my nigga, what are you doing? This dude is... Come on, bro. You're doing way too much. Joshua Buatsi has turned out to be one of the bigger disappointments in boxing, man. You know, you're turning down fights, you turn down, you know, title opportunities, and for whatever reason, because I just think that you don't like your chances against that said opponent, which was Bivol, but because you're off a fight before this fight, 2 fights ago, you're off a, you know, potential fight of the year candidate with Callum Smith. I'm expecting a certain level of performance in the ring, and when you're in there with somebody who hasn't even fought somebody on the caliber of that you. Well, no, I can't say that because Zach Parker fought John Ryder. John Ryder arguably beat Callum Smith. And so, you know, but even then, that's one opponent. We're not finna, you know, count Von Alexander and, you know, a couple of the other cats that he fought at 168 pounds. He doesn't have the names under his resume that you have. Dan Aziz, he doesn't have Willie Hutchinson. He doesn't have Craig Spider Richardson. He doesn't have these dudes under his, you know, on his resume. Callum Smith, you have these dudes on your resume, man. And for you to go in there and look the way that you look, as pedestrian as you look, bro, that's just... I don't even know what to think of you anymore, because I was always, and I still do believe that you have what it takes to keep a dude like David Benavidez off balance, but it's hard to say that shit with certain conviction, man. And I kind of want to chalk it up to it just being, you know, you performing up to the, you know, you performing down or you perform down or up to the level of your opponent. I kind of want to chalk it up to that, but then in retrospect, I'm like, I don't really even want to do that, because that would be giving you an out, and I don't want to give you an out. I don't want to give you an out, man. You were supposed to go. I made a video with you. I said you was gonna knock this dude out. I said you should go in there and you should knock out Zach Parker, and you lost. How do you get outmaneuvered by Zach Parker in the way that? And I didn't even see Zach Parker doing a lot of switch hitting this fight. Like I said in the video, not in his last fight, you know, the fight before Joshua Buatsi, but the fight before 2 fights ago. So Joshua Buatsi, it was the dude and then another dude. His last fight of 2024. He didn't do as much switch hitting. You know, he didn't do as much switch hitting. He didn't do as much switch hitting in that fight, man. He stayed in the southpaw, not the southpaw, but the conventional stance. And he was coming forward. He was pressing an issue and putting punches together, man. I don't recall him switching. At least I don't recall him switching like he normally switches in the fight. I didn't recall him doing that. To my recollection, he stayed in the south, the conventional stance for a lot of the time, for long durations of the fight, and he was able to keep you off balance and walk you into punches, bro, straight shots, and you fell right into the mousetrap. And I'm like, man, what is this that I'm looking at? What is this that I'm looking at? How you won that fight is beyond me. And this is 2 British dudes who have gotten back-to-back, you know, consideration, one with the judges and one with the ref, in back-to-back weeks, man. That's not a good look. When bullshit happens up here, when Rolly got that bullshit stoppage over Barroso, we was on that. Like, y'all got us fucked up, bro. How are y'all? Like, no. That was a bad stoppage. Me personally, when David Benavidez got dropped by David Morrell, I'm like, that wasn't no knockdown. That wasn't a knockdown. I still don't consider that a knockdown. You hit the dude on the shoulder, dog. Like you didn't hit him. Like you didn't hit him bang on the chin. You know, like, you didn't hit him. You didn't clip him to the body. That's not a stop it, or that's not a knockdown. When Deontay Wilder got that bullshit draw with Tyson Fury, we was on that. So if we gonna hold fighters here to a certain standard, bro, you best believe we're gonna do the same thing when it comes to the Brits. And these past couple of weekends, there's been some real questionable calls over there. This one was a lot more. I think this one was a lot more egregious than the stoppage with Joseph Parker. I honestly do. I wouldn't be mad if someone thought opposite, but I thought this one was like, yo, you can't be serious. You can't be serious. And come to find out, them niggas are serious. You was kept off balance for the entirety of the fight. You didn't start really getting in no rhythm until later on in the fight, man. And you don't fight with a sense of urgency, man. You kind of just like go through the gears. You just go through the gears, whatever. Or not go through the gears, but you just kind of go through the motions. All right, I'll get to, like you fight with a I'm going to get to him eventually type approach. You can't do that, man. You can't, when someone is in there and they in the fight of their life, because this was a make or break fight for Zach Parker. And I think in a loss for him, this is, people are going to start calling his name now. Because a lot of your contemporaries and people that feel that, that fuck what you are saying, nah, bro, you lost that fight. Zach Parker got that fight. I was you look puzzled in there. You look puzzled. And this dude was spinning you, and I'm like, hey, how is he able to spin and dip you like this, man? How is he able to do this when you've been in with the better, greater competition than him on a consistent basis? Man, I don't get it. I can't for the life of me understand it, man. That was a really disappointing performance from you, man. And it's a lot of people who feel that way, like, bro, you ain't, your career ain't really mounted out to nothing. Which in all actuality, it hasn't, man. But you are on the precipice. And honestly, even now you are. Now you are. You're on the precipice of the title shot. You talking about you looking out for David Benavidez and Anthony Yard or whatever, whatever the fuck ever, man. But just, you're not deserving of it is the point. Because that should be Zach Parker holding the interim. You look pretty bad this weekend, man. And because I fuck with Joshua Buatsi. I honestly do. I fuck with Joshua Buatsi. I do. I do. I think the British boxing scene is dope. But I'm puzzled on how you can rectify something like this, man. Like, yo, this was a bad look. It's a bad look. You just went in there and just got kept off balance like that, man. You got countered all night. How are we supposed to feel confident in it? I don't think you're going to win no title, dude. I don't think you're going to win no belt. I honestly don't. I honestly don't. Because, working behind straight shots, straight punches, the jab, the 1-2, those are your oh, God damn it. Those are your better punches, man. Those are your better punches because you get maximum leverage on the shot. Those are your better shots right there. Those are your money punches right there. What happens if you fight an Anthony Yard who likes to fight at a certain range and be in your chest the majority of the fight? And I think his cardio was pushed when he fought Lennon Arthur because he had to go on the hunt to find him. Now, Lennon Arthur isn't the caliber of fighter that you are supposed to be, but nonetheless, it's exhausting having to go on the hunt. He's been on the hunt. And he's tracked his prey down, and he got rid of him one time and then beat him in a 12-round decision. How exactly are you supposed to deal with someone like an Anthony Yard, bro? When Anthony Yard is gonna find a way into your chest, and then what? I can't feel confident that you're gonna do anything with Anthony Yard. And normally I think he would beat Anthony Yard because you'd be able to keep him off balance. But you couldn't control the movement of a Zach Parker, and that is your bet. That. Like, you got outmaneuvered by Zach Parker, and that is a dude with the same, have somewhat identical styles. I can't trust your level of methodicism, or you know what I'm saying, in front of a fucking Anthony Yarde when you got outmaneuvered by Zach Parker. The same Zach Parker who just 3 fights ago was getting dropped for making mistakes of switching it, too much. You go on there and now I want to say, like, it leaves room to say that Zach Parker, because he was in the fight of his, like, he had the performance of a lifetime, and Joshua Buatsi just didn't go in there and perform with the same level of vigor that he would normally, like he didn't train like he did when he fought Callum. You can say that, man, but I'm reluctant to say it because I'm like, you at this point you ought to know better than to do some shit like that. Zach Parker's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. I don't think he's at, like, I wouldn't put him in there. I don't think he beat that of Alberto, or I don't think he beat Katayev. And he's damn sure not fucking with no Callum Smith. He did. Like, I wouldn't put him in there with the top. I don't think he beat Anthony Yarde. I don't think he beat them dudes. But he's a good fighter, though. But he wasn't supposed to be so good to where he goes in there and he's able to make you look the way that you looked. That was a bad performance, man. That was not a good performance. And I don't even know how you fucking rectify that shit after that, man. Like, after that, man, you got a gift. Now, fighters get like, the vast majority of fighters are gonna, not the vast, but a lot of the greats are gonna get gifts. So you're not head and shoulders above getting gifted. But when it's a gift of that magnitude, it's hard to be. More accomplished fighters have gotten gifts, whether it was Josh Taylor, whether it was Teofimo Lopez, Canelo Alvarez, Golovkin, Ali, Lennox, Evander. People have gotten gifts. It happens. Sugar Ray Leonard, it happens, man. But these are all accomplished dudes, man. You haven't even fought for a belt yet. And you get kept off balance like this is like, wow. I was really disappointed in Joshua Buatsi because I expected more, man. I expected more. For someone who's supposed to be a top dog in the division, and even I remember being on Nuke's page on his channel, and it was like, man, he's a Euro bum, and I'm arguing defense. How was he a Euro bum? You're gonna have to explain to me what exactly a Euro bum is, and I'm arguing in your defense. I'm arguing your defense, and how do you argue against it now? You let me down, my man. You really disappointed. You put on a really, 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 really piss poor performance, man. Like, you look lost in there. No urgency about you. Just kind of just going through the motions. You didn't fight. You fought like you just knew you was gonna go in there and beat this dude. And maybe you trained like you. Maybe you went in there and you trained like you was going to just go in there and just get rid of this nigga. And it didn't pan out like that. It didn't pan out like that. I don't know, man. Very disappointed, man. It ain't really even nothing else. I'm more excited about what Joseph Parker is going to do. Because I know people need to start calling his name now, man. Because off of that performance, he's a name in the division. Because we already knew him for fighting John Ryder. We know him for fighting John Ryder. We know him for that. And you just went in there and beat unofficially Joseph Parker, a dude who's been in there with some reputable opposition. Beat Willie Hutchinson, man. Like, you was able to outmaneuver Willie Hutchinson and counter him and force him to play your game. Force him to fight at your pace. Force him to, step into the fray and close distance with you. You beat him. He's more proven than fucking Zach Parker as a light heavyweight, and you couldn't. What's next for Zach Parker, man? I think my stock in Joshua Buatsi may be all the way sold, man. I can't do it no more, man. I can't do it no more. I can't. Nah, man. That was terrible. That was terrible, man. So That's how I'm feeling about it, man. I'm going to work. I will tap back in with y'all when I tap back in with y'all, man. Y'all stay righteous. Doses.